Welcome back to our Midday Makeover. Today I'm joined here with Mike Wayne from Chemung Canal Trust Company. Thanks always for coming in, Mike.
Oh, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And so you graduate college and most likely you have debt. And right now it's estimated that each college graduate leaves with about $30,000 in debt. I guess where do you start in paying that off?
Well, it's not an uncommon issue. So 7 out of 10 kids graduate from college with debt. And actually, the other day I saw a statistic that over 70% of people over the age of 60 have debt for themselves or their children or their grandchildren. So there's a lot of student loan debt out there. The whole thing is to really be realistic and kind of budget that like you would any other debt. Obviously, in many cases, because of the dollar amount, it's pretty long term. But set a goal as part of your budget and then try and chip away a little at a time. Things like look at the highest rate. If you've got multiple student loans, look at the highest rate and maybe pay that one down a little quicker. Can you consolidate the loans? Especially when you first get out of college, if your debt can be assigned as a percentage of your income, that's a pretty good thing because usually people start in their first job, they're not making as much money and you don't want those big heavy payments. The other thing is that you may want to look to consolidate them or refinance them depending on what the rates are.
And you'd also mentioned that, in some places of business, if you're working for public service or something like that, that you can actually defer those debts. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, it is. And in some cases, not only can you defer them, but after a certain period of time that you've worked there, there may be some forgiveness involved. And some of that is in not-for-profit organizations and in different public sector fields. So you certainly want to check that with your lender as part of your kind of postgraduate process.
And then, so you're looking at this big chunk and, obviously you want to pay as much as you can, but is there even like a minimum or maybe a percentage that you think, you should, to really get the ball rolling, start paying into?
Well, the more that you can, the better. So a little example, and the numbers probably aren't as realistic as Craig pointed out, I'm pretty old. But if you had a payment that was $185, if you paid $200 a month, that's $15 extra. That's almost one extra payment per year. But you want to make sure that that extra money is going right onto the principal, that it's not going to the following month's payment. Any little thing that you can do that fits into your budget will certainly help, because if you chip that down from 10 years to 7 or 15 years to 12, all of that will make a huge difference in your budget long term.
All right, great, Mike. Well, thanks so much for coming in. And that's all the time we have. But as always, we'll put all of these tips from Chemung Canal on our website, WENY.com.